Hi, everybody. I'm Jenny Malier, the writer, creator, director of Build a Prince, and we are here for a little producers chat. Thank you so much for joining us. We assume that at this point you have finished the whole series because, baby, there are going to be spoilers. I'm joined by Jenny Fagan.
Hello.
She plays beautiful Blanche, Adelaide's personal secretary in season one, and she has jumped on to be a producer for another spoiler, season two. We're also joined by Will Kinnear. Hi, Will.
Hi, Will. The two Jennies, as I refer to you.
Will is an
The two
executive
Jennies.
producer of season one. He's here with the Jennies, and he also plays the Prime Minister. Ooh, he's a bad boy. He starts out good and he
Mm.
turns bad.
I also
So
played Pop.
yeah,
Pop Anderson.
we had a small cast that really was able to nail a lot of different parts. Jenny, did you play anybody but Blanche? I think you just played Blanche.
I just played Blanche. I tried to play other people and you wouldn't let me.
Well, Blanche is such a
Well,
crucial central character. Like we couldn't lose you. You're in almost every scene. We had to
Yeah.
yeah,
have you.
Blanche is a huge part, and if you had turned up as another role, I think that the audience would have been the contract would have been broken. So
I am
it's important.
multifaceted, guys.
We're
Oh, I
aware. We're
know.
That's why
aware.
I'm going to produce now.
You're right. No, that absolutely. So Jenny is jumping on to produce our sequel, which we will get into later. We're really excited about it. So Build a Prince was written as a feature film, and we got so close to making it. That's just how things go in this business. And then one crazy day, I think we just
What?
got impatient and frustrated. And Will,
Yeah,
did
you
I hit
sent
you
me
up
a
first?
Yeah, you hit me up with one of those I was in New York, so it was a 1:30 a.m. text, and you said, I have a really crazy idea within a series of emoticons, and I don't remember what they were. They involved Christmas trees and devils.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
good.
and you said you would call me the next morning, and the idea was that you had this wonderful script that I knew about, and that I'd been at a table reading for, and that the idea was to make it into a film, but that we should make it into a podcast first. And by the way, we needed to get this done quickly, and of
I
course,
know.
we have all these.
Was it like September, maybe October?
Yes, it was September, October, and you said, by the way, and I said, yeah, my understanding is that Christmas is coming right up,
I know.
and
I like to make it as stressful as humanly possible. And
yeah,
Jenny,
and
you
you
were in
succeeded. So,
Texas at that time, and I was
Yeah, I
like,
actually I forgot about the table read. I forgot we did like the Zoom table read with everybody.
yes.
that's
Um,
right. So yeah, before that, we did a table read of the script for investors
Yes.
on
mhm.
Zoom, and I played Adelaide in that,
Yeah,
and
because we didn't have Spencer yet.
we didn't have Spencer
Um,
yet. We and Billy was nice enough to just kind of do me a favor and hop on the Zoom and be
yeah,
Yep.
did you
Hayden.
meet him at an audition?
So I tested for Days of Our Lives, and I was on. It's a sort of a weird
Twice.
set where if you've ever been on a soap set, like in your dressing room, there's a TV, like a live feed of filming the whole day. And I was there for like 9 hours or something, and I was actually on set for like 2 minutes
Hmm.
with Billy. I was testing to play Billy's like new love interest in the show. And I just sat in my dressing room all day long watching the live feed. And Billy happened to, I think that episode was when his in the show his wife has just been like murdered. It's a soap.
Hmm.
And he had to like pull it out scene after scene, like big tear. Like and he was so good, and I didn't know him. I didn't know his work, and I was just like, God, he's good. And then I actually tested with him, and we did a scene together, and he was just phenomenal. So I didn't know him. We weren't friends, but I reached out to Marnie, the casting director of
Hmm.
Days of Our Lives, and was like, "Hey, do you think Billy Flynn might be nice and be willing to do this?
I
This
really like him.
will he be nice? Will he be our friend?" So I asked him to do this table read, and he was really, really nice and willing to do it. So yeah, so that was still when it was kind of in movie mode.
Hmm.
And then, babies, the SAG strike hit and
Which
slowed
Yeah.
us
dragged
down
on.
once again.
But the
So
podcast was such a great idea for so many reasons, and I think it became even more than we imagined that we hoped it could be. Particularly since we had such a short time to do it, but of course you have a great cadre of friends. Yeah, we went through a period of like, can we make this into a movie? I think you even said you had a castle in Scotland lined up, and And
Yeah,
then we
no,
decide,
we
yeah,
had a producer put a budget together, and we had,
yeah,
a rough plan for shooting in Scotland. We still hope that that happens. That's kind of the
yeah,
ultimate goal for the
yes,
project.
of course.
But yeah, at that time it was like I just felt like it needed to live and be an
Yes,
existing project.
exist.
And yeah, so and we kind of thought, the idea was put it out there, go ahead and put it out. Like we know great actors. We know we can
Hmm.
put out a quality product. So then we have existing IP that can potentially be turned into a movie. So kind of going about it the backwards way. Yeah, so
Which
we
I might interject that the way things are now, you need an existing IP. You can't just go into an office and say, I've got to go into a studio and say, I've got a great idea. What do you think about
Right.
this? And they green light it. You've got to say, I've got a hit breakfast cereal. I've got a hit
Yeah.
play or a children's, morning children's cartoon
You
or
got to
whatever,
come
and
with, money in
with
the
a
bank
thing.
already.
Yeah, with this thing that exists. And I think but what I think is amazing is that, yeah, we talked in September and we recorded in the third week of October because I remember flying to
that
LA to
sounds
do
right.
it. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that,
there's a joke in the industry that if you take your screenplay in to sell it, they'll be like, "Cool, can you rewrite it as a book and then we'll adapt it into a screenplay?" Like it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. They
it's so
want
true.
something that, and so that was sort of our idea with this is,
Yeah.
and I have a lot of different scripts and projects, and this was the one that I could sort of like tangibly put out there and make happen. And I knew that there would be an audience for it. Christmas is just like there is an audience for Christmas. I am a Christmasaholic.
Me
Like
too.
I will binge this garbage, honey, all
Yeah.
day and all night from like November 1st on. And I know there's a lot of me out there. And
About how, how much you love Christmas, that both Jennys love Christmas so much. And I'm a big fan of Christmas. My mother was an enormous fan of Christmas. She started Christmas, in like September and
my kind of
buying
gal.
gifts. Yeah, she really did. And hiding presents in the garage and stuff like that. But then my wife, Lizzie, she's the same way. And for years and years and years and years, she had to wait until Christmas came around, like real Christmas. And back in the day, it used to be after Thanksgiving for the Christmas for a station to start playing Christmas music all the time. There was a station that took over and just played Christmas music. And then after New Year's, it went back to, crime investigations or whatever. But finally, and that was fine. And she nonstop in the car all the time, Christmas music. And then it was only recently that she discovered that on Sirius XM in the car, there's a station that I believe will play Christmas music
All year
all
round.
year
Year
Christmas
round.
round.
station. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a Hallmark Christmas channel. That's the one I'm thinking of, and all year round. And so in the car now, I mean, starting around Halloween until Groundhog Day,
Mm.
basically,
You gotta milk it.
Christmas.
You gotta milk it for a couple months. Does
Oh,
she binges
what?
like the Hallmark movies and the Netflix Christmas movies?
She does like this. Yes, anything Christmas. Yes,
Yeah.
Hallmark movies, Netflix movies. The Hallmark movies where it always seems to be a single mother with two kids fleeing a previous life, and then she's taken in by the really kind diner owner, gives
Well,
her
I
a
think I
job.
think that's part of what people responded to about Build a Prince so much is like this royal Christmas love story has been done. The royal love story, it's always like the girl, like the regular girl, who gets swept off her feet by the prince. And that's like not what we did here at all. Adelaide is a
No,
badass. She's super smart. She's like an
Mhm.
intellectual. She doesn't need a man to save her. She's not like thinking about that. At this point in her
Right.
life, she's really focused on her duty and her work. And I think that's another sort of princess cliche is like she just wants to be a regular girl, but not Adelaide. Like she wants to do her duty. She wants to do a good
Mhm.
job leading her country. Um, so
And
it's
I
just
think
kind
you
of,
do a good job writing that in, Jenny. Like, I think
oh
you
yeah,
really captured, like, right off the bat.
oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, and
no,
and Spencer, I think,
absolutely, yeah.
really nailed it. Let's talk about Spencer and how we roped her into this.
Yeah, so I've been friends with Spencer for years. She and I were in acting class together. She plays Summer on Rick and Morty and
Yes.
has a lot of voiceover experience. And so I thought of her for this. Plus, Spencer is just a cool creator. Like, even with all her success as an actress, she went back to school and got her master's in filmmaking from Columbia. Like, she just loves to create and loves to help out and do what she can. And I think it was really, I wasn't surprised at all that she said yes, but I think we're really fortunate to get her. And
That's so Adelaide to go get her master's degree when she doesn't even need one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I think
is.
I honestly don't know how she came into the conversation, but when we were brainstorming cast, I mean, to me, once Billy read it in the table read, like Billy was hated and that was it. Like there was no going back, no changing it. And then when we were talking about Adelaide, you know, we just needed somebody who comes across as smart and elegant, and you know, it's not easy to capture that essence of a princess.
Mhm.
And I think you just like pitched it, and I was like, I don't think she'll do it. And then we FaceTimed her, I think, and she was so cool and so down
Mhm.
and into it.
She
Yeah,
has a cool gravitas to her voice that is so great for Adelaide.
totally. And she really worked on the accent, like, and I
Mhm.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate like the work that she put into it.
Mhm.
And you know, and everybody did. And this is a really low budget project. Like we scraped it together, and old Moneybags Will helped us out.
Well, look at the house I live in.
I
Look at
know,
your
look at his
chalet.
You should have seen it before Build a Prince. It was
Well, we
much
should have
bigger.
paid our actors better
I have
considering
to
your
I
chalet.
have to rent space out now to some college kids to pay for what I spent on Build a Prince.
On Build a Prince. I know. I know.
Keep quiet down there.
Yeah, but you know, Billy and Spencer, like they were just really kind to do it without, you know, the financial part of it. And but I think that goes to show like what a strong project we had, as everybody was willing to be part of it to because they believe in the project. And they felt like it had so much potential and still does. You know, I think it could still very well be turned into a movie. It could be turned into more, I mean, we're already working on the sequel for the podcast. So yeah, I think everybody involved just believed in the project. And we had
Mhm.
so many great actors that jumped in, and we recorded the whole thing in one day.
Yeah,
I was just
that
going to
was
say that one
crazy.
day reminds me of like a 1940s, Mickey Rooney musical, and that let's all come on, let's pitch together and put on a play on and play it in the barn. I mean, Allie was doing traffic direction. You were in the room the whole time. Get in there. You've got fun. I mean, it was incredible in one day. Now, let's say though that there was so much post production, Jenny. So it wasn't all, yes, we recorded the voices in one day, but what you did afterwards was incredible with the music. I don't know, everything else you had to do with the sound and
Well,
the famous Ferdinand, what was his name?
Eric?
Ferdinand?
His friend
Eric,
Eric?
It was something like
Ferdinand
Fernando.
was
Oh,
the
Eric,
Oh,
that's
dog,
right.
oh
Will.
no, yes, he came later. Okay, so let's
That's
go
right.
back. So we
Ferdinand was the dog. No, but you had an
w-
engineer that you went to
yes,
right at
later. No,
zero
I had an
hour,
editor that yes. Okay, so let's go back. So if this is
whose
really the
name
nitty
may or
gritty, if
may not have
anybody's
been
interested
Ferdinand.
in the making of, but
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like I
I
used to
am.
be the Kia girl. Recognize me? Buy a Kia.
You
So
always will be.
so I had done a lot of voiceover work for the commercials and gone to different studios in LA. And I remembered 48 Windows was this little cute, great studio in Santa Monica that was always just so lovely and nice to me and made me tea when I got there. And they were great. So I was just like, let's just give it a crapshoot. And I called them up. I was like, hey, remember me? I used to come in and record these tags for Kia. I'm doing this project. I have approximately $0 to spend.
Exactly.
Um,
Aren't you
Approximately.
they were like, great,
excited
my favorite
to
kind of
take me on
client.
as a client?
Does
I have no money.
does that
No,
work for
I
you?
mean, we paid, believe me, that was where a huge portion of our
Yeah.
budget went, but it was still tiny compared to, they were so willing to help. Eric owns 48 Windows, and he was just like, I just like to help and be part of this stuff. But what I will say is that put incredibly difficult parameters on the project where we had to record a feature length movie script in one day. And
If for anyone that doesn't fully understand like filmmaking, that's absolutely insane.
it's insane.
It's insane.
It's totally, totally insane. And we had to go in order, which in movies you absolutely don't go in order. So in a way, it was kind of nice for the actors to
Mhm.
like, it's very rare for film actors to get to tell the whole story start to finish.
Right.
Like if you're shooting a movie, you're probably going to show up on day one shooting like page 90. where your,
Right.
brother just died and you have to like jump in so deep. But this
Right.
was cool that we got to tell it chronologically. But that also made it tough because we really couldn't cut. We couldn't we could cut and go back, but we couldn't use, like, let's say Jenny had a great scene or Jenny had a great take for a scene, but Sachin like fumbled a line or whatever. Not that he ever would. But like let's say we did that. We like Jenny doesn't get to keep her great take. Like we had to
Right.
just go back and
We
do
have
it
to go
again.
with
To do
whatever is the
sessions.
most clean take. You've
Yeah,
been
sorry.
doing some fun little social things and showed some like behind the
Yeah.
scenes of us. And I think one of the moments that so beautifully captures what we were doing
Darn
is
it.
when Adrian and I are sharing a mic and we have to switch places
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we're like swinging the cord, like the headphone cord over it. Because there
That
was
is such
times
you're
where six of us were in a tiny booth together.
Yeah, Spencer got her own little booth because she's the queen and she was in every single scene. So she had her own little booth. And then there's another studio that had, I think, two mics.
Yep.
And the rest of us would like rotate out. And Allison Minnick, who plays a bunch of characters, she plays Club Girl. If you're a super
Yep.
fan,
That's my
you know
favorite.
Club Girl. Club Girl is the one who like grinds up on Hayden. By the way, fun fact, you can't really tell this from the podcast, but the idea in that scene is that Diego has paid Club Girl to do this to get them into trouble. I don't know if
Oh
that
yeah.
really like comes across in the scene. If it were shot visually, we'd be able to see
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
But yeah, she's totally a plant to like mess with them.
Well, that
But
comes out later, of course, but we don't want to
well, it
spoiler
comes
alert.
out well, we're assuming everybody's heard all four by
Oh,
now.
okay. Well, then it comes out later because he has to be redeemed, and
Well,
he
it comes
knows
out
he's
later
done a
that
bad
Diego is
thing,
in it with Queen Beatrice and the Prime Minister, but I
and the
don't know
prime
if it's super
minister.
clear that he's like planted Club Girl. It's a very handsome, familiar face, she said,
That's
which is so good. So
you
Allie,
just
no,
nailed Club Girl.
well, I know for the sequel, I was like, does Club Girl need does she need to come back in the sequel?
Yes, she's working now. She's
I feel
working at
like
like the
she
local
does.
She
convenience
just
store.
somebody gave her 20 quid to go to the club, and that was
I
like,
think Club Girl, maybe
She
she's been
has,
watching Hayden from afar
and tries to kill
yeah.
him. No.
or something.
The
That's so
sequel's gonna take a
Christmassy.
turn, guys. It's gonna get dark. No, but anyway, so Allison Minnick played Club Girl and a bunch of other parts, and she was helping just
Oh, she was the
logistically with me, like yelling
assistant
at everybody to
director.
go, like, Will, you're in, Jenny, you're in, Adrian, you're
Yeah.
in. Like it was just like people had to rotate in and out of the, out of the booth.
And you had me jumping into your seat when you had to record.
Yeah, because I needed an
You
actor's
play
eye.
Hayden's sister.
Yes, that's right. I play Eve also. If you don't recognize my voice, I'm Eve, Aiden's sassy older sister.
Sassy
Um,
sister.
but yeah,
The chef.
I needed, an actor or director's eye on my performance because I couldn't see that. And I'd record it and be like, Jenny, is it good? Great. And then I'd run back into my seat. So yeah, it was a beast. And I think, and if you listen to it too, like, and I don't know if it's because Billy is like, has a history in soaps that he has to knock out 30 pages a day. Like his ability
Yeah.
to re like deliver the emotion required in every scene back to back to back to back to back all day long, I thought was phenomenal.
And can I just say this about Billy? Just a quick aside that I think was just impressed me so much in this somewhat chaotic atmosphere that you're doing a good job of describing is that we were in the green room and we had a scene coming up because I was playing Pop, Hayden's father. And it was a small scene about where we come upon a Christmas tree. And I can't remember what Hayden says about the Christmas tree. And I think he's fooling me about it. And he's describing it for me and whatnot. And he was looking at his script so seriously and so earnestly. And he goes, Will, do you think it's this? Is it the reason I'm saying is, do you think it's this? Or let's try this. And he wanted to try it like 3 different times. And he really wanted to understand of a conversation about what was really going on here. And I was just incredibly impressed.
That's
There's some,
absolutely totally
who
why
he
this
is.
podcast is what it is, because nobody phoned it in. Nobody was like, oh, it's a podcast. Oh, it's a one day thing. Oh, it's,
No.
no money. Oh, it's a Hallmarky vibe. Like these movies, these Christmas movies totally rely on good actors who commit all the way. Because sometimes there is kind of cheesy dialogue. Like I wrote it, honey, but there's still like, this is the genre.
Right.
If you don't play it earnestly, Billy and Spencer played it so earnestly and truthfully that you're invested and you buy it and you get to escape into their world with them. And, I think that's what makes any of this movies in this genre special, but that's why this one works.
Oh, absolutely. And I think something about doing it all in that one day, it reminds me of the days of when I was in a band and you had very little time and you went in and you recorded it and you don't have time. And then you don't really know what you've got.
Hmm.
And then you go listen, and there are all these surprises and things that maybe if you had been able to do 6 takes, the magic wouldn't have happened. And that
That's
was my
true.
experience of listening to what we did that day was, wow, there were all these surprises and happy accidents that were magical.
Yeah.
And the woman that you got to play the queen,
Oh my God.
Oh,
I loved her.
She's so crucial because
Mhm.
her voice opens the
Yes.
trailer.
Yes.
You must be married, Adelaide. And like
yeah.
if
That was,
she did not like she's actually British. Is she the only actually
yeah.
British person we got?
No, there was the
Who?
gentleman,
Oh,
the man,
Matthew. Oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
get to
Matthew
Matthew.
Plum.
We're gonna get to
Yeah.
Matthew Plum.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the ones I think I put out a breakdown that was like, can
Yes.
you do like 8 different character voices in British accents?
Yes.
And I can't even tell you how, I almost feel like it ruins the magic to know how many voices Matthew
Yeah.
I
did
know.
because you wouldn't
Does so
know
many voices.
otherwise. He's a
He's
servant and
a vocal chameleon.
he was incredible. And just as we were like pounding through these scenes, we were like, Matthew, go, go, go. And he's like giving us a new tone, a new accent,
No,
a new vibe. He was
he went through
incredible.
like 9 different dialects. I mean,
Yeah.
he just
And
Yeah.
kept
he is
going
actually
through.
British, so he can really nail the different, like,
Yes.
a
Yes.
little Essex and a
Regionalisms.
little
Hmm.
Manchester and like all of it.
Yeah. It's
But no, but
fantastic.
Jean is Queen Mary. Like her voice, the quality of her voice, everything was like we needed that strong matriarch and that voice to nail it because that
Yes.
really sets up the whole entire story. That crucial scene, like that launches the whole story, and she absolutely nailed it. Yeah, so everybody was just a friend who was kind
Friend.
enough to
Yeah.
just do it.
Except
Like
those two.
Sachin, who plays Lance. I've known Sachin for years. We were in acting class together 100 years ago. But I
Are
mean,
we
his
sensing a theme here?
what?
That we all know each other from acting class.
I know, geeks. Um,
Well,
did
that's
you guys
how
do
Jenny
anything
and I
else?
met. No.
No.
Uh, so Sachin's career has blown up. He is like he's been in so much. He's crushing it, and
Oh
I feel
my
like
gosh, he's out there right now doing press for Boots. I
yeah.
just love seeing him. He
He's
looks
amazing.
so
He's
young.
gorgeous. He's talented. He's so funny. I do feel like he's like the one I had to talk into it a little bit. I feel like he's really like buzzing his career. And I was like, hi, boo boo. Do you think you might just come for one day to Santa Monica to this recording studio?
Did you use
He was,
that voice?
I used that exact voice. And
And
he
he
was like,
still did it.
fine. It's like, fine, I'll
Just
do
stop using that voice.
But yeah, so Sachin and Jenny and Ali and Will obviously and then Spencer and Billy, these are all like friends that we asked. And
And
then
Diego, Adrian.
so
Oh,
he's basically the funniest person any of us know. And
Yeah.
he made Diego, I feel like it
yes.
was written for him. I can't remember honestly. It probably was. But he's
Well,
so
you told me that you wrote Diego with Adrian in mind and you wrote Blanche like with me in mind.
you know what, 100 million%. You, Jenny, were in my head the entire time I was writing the script. And when we talked about you coming out to record it, I was like, I could cast somebody, but like it's just not like there's just no way. Nobody else is gonna do exactly what it needs
I
to be.
love you, Jenny.
No.
Jenny will call me. She's always having a project and she will call me and I will always answer because I
Oh,
love you and I love working with you.
Well,
I
I
think
love
you're
you,
I
boo
feel the
boo.
smart.
same way, even though from what I understand is that Jenny actually wrote the part of Ferdinand the dog with me in mind.
I did. Yes, that's
Yeah,
accurate too.
yeah.
Yes.
And I was flattered, but then there wasn't much I could do with the part, so I ended up playing Pop, and that's how that.
I like your prime minister moment where you're like on the
I
floor.
know, and what exactly? It all happened so fast. I'm not.
Well, that scene's actually a good example of how this was written visually. Like in my head, the prime minister is like he's lounging with his legs up on his desk and then he like drops to the floor and it's like a physical comedy moment. And that was hard to translate in podcast.
Yes.
And like, Frances, oh my God, our narrator who is, I'm obsessed
Yes.
with her. She is like amazing, full Julie Andrews vibes, but like younger and hotter. And like she's absolutely nailed the
Oh
narrator.
yes.
So interestingly, one of the reviews we got is that it's a Hallmark movie meets Bridgerton, and I think that's because of Frances and her
Hmm.
excellent narration.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was sort of our way around turning a movie into a podcast was putting the narrator in. But then she ended up
Right.
being, I feel like, a totally crucial part of the whole vibe.
I will
Oh,
say, I
absolutely.
secretly hope we still get to do the movie because I want to wear Blanche's outfit so bad, and I really want to have the ski moment.
Thank you. It is written in the script that she is in like and I think I sent you a picture of how I imagine her
Yes.
ski outfit.
Yes.
Um, yeah, we're no, the movie's gonna get made. It's not, this is only step one. And then the other thing I want
Amazing.
to talk about is, such a big part of what made it what it is the music. And
Hmm.
Yes.
this is not like my area of expertise at all. And I was a little bit, lost with it, and I knew it was going to be a really crucial element. So I brought on Momo McKellop, a good friend of mine who is a musician and music producer, and she was so amazing. Like she just helped me if I needed anything, like the club scene, right? I was like, listen, I need like kind of a cheesy Christmas R&B song. Can you find it? And she couldn't find exactly what we needed, so she just recorded it herself and just did it. She like did the music and the vocals, and it's like exactly what we needed. Um, and then we brought in like a real a cappella group.
Yeah, they were incredible.
They're on the Windborne singers. They're
Yeah.
unbelievable, and they were so kind to just lend us their beautiful music. And
Mm,
it's so crucial for like I think did we use it in the coronation scene? I think we do. But
I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
You were saying it earlier about the contrast between Build a Prince and other traditional Christmas movies in Hallmark where there is a damsel in distress type thing. And that's one of the things that I loved about this story, and one of the many reasons, other than the fact that one of my dearest friends wrote it, that I believed in it so much, was that it was about a woman who was solving problems on her own, um, defeating defeating, there were prime minister's a bad guy, and she knocks him aside. She doesn't need a man to help her get these goals that are really, it's just an amazing, a really really strong role model for the current modern times.
Well,
and
thank you.
and yet
And
and
I
yet about Christmas, and yet it
yeah.
Christmas plays a crucial part. It's set
And I think
against
what's
Christmas.
nice too is like it's not like she don't need no man. Like she don't need no
No,
man,
no,
but it's okay to want a man. It's
Yeah.
okay
she
to
doesn't need a
Yeah.
man, but she wants a man.
exactly.
And
She chooses him because she wants him, not because she
right.
needs him.
Right.
And she
And
doesn't need to be saved. She saves herself.
and he says to her, and that's one of my favorite, it's maybe my favorite scene is when he says, you don't have to do everything by yourself anymore. And she's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, you don't. And
And
I
that's
think
great.
like us, strong women,
Hmm.
Jenny, we sometimes like it's great to have, a strong man say like, listen, I'm behind you, like I've
Yeah.
got you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that is really, such a powerful part of the script to me. Like that, I feel like when we recorded that scene between them, like the emotion is really high in that scene, and the tension
Yes.
is so high. And I feel like in the recording studio, I was like, yeah, we've got something good here.
Yeah.
Like that was the moment that I
Yes.
was like, this is good.
Yes.
They
This
were
is
both
special.
super keyed in.
I think I
They
recorded
were.
Billy like a creep on my phone, like through the glass in
Good.
that scene, and because it was just
creeping,
so
creeping a little bit.
good.
Yes, it was good. But then maybe, Jenny, you could talk about the reason I brought it up is that how is that going to lead us to a sequel if you're ready to talk about a sequel? Because I think that Build a Prince really, it's a wonderful, cozy Christmas story that is for the whole family for sure. But it has this very strong thread going through it that we're just talking about, and how that could lead to a sequel where grown-up problems are being addressed and faced
Hmm.
against the backdrop of Christmas, and Christmas is going to play a big part in somehow leading to an answer.
Yeah, I
And
think
again, it's that's what's wonderful. I think it's a very you artfully traverse these topics in a way that still works as a Christmas story.
yeah, I think that is there's a delicate balance to find. So I don't know if you guys saw the movie A California Christmas. This came out in 2020. This company, ESX Entertainment, they just so they had I think they had like a billionaire investor, which like great. That's what we need. But they were
Please,
able to
anyone?
Yeah, anybody?
So
Anybody?
if you're out there,
So they shot this movie and on their own dime, like they had their own investor. There was no streamer, no network, and they shot it and then they sold it to Netflix. And it's a really it's a pretty heavy story. If I remember correctly, I think the story deals with the main character's mom is very sick, she has cancer.
Hmm.
But it's still like a beautiful romantic Christmas story. And then that company kind of blew up and like ended up making back-to-back Christmas movies. One of their producers was kind enough to do a meeting with me before we did this and just kind of give me advice. But she talked about that too, of like they didn't shy away from a heavier topic, and that
Hmm.
right?
doesn't make it less enjoyable. So just to get into that, so the idea for, and I'm not going to give away too much, but the sequel is called Build a Baby. And you can imagine
What that might entail.
what could that mean? And it's personal for me because when we actually were editing Build a Prince, I was pregnant with Hamish and I had just found out I was pregnant. So I mean, I was in the edit with like Gatorade taking puke breaks, but that was my fifth time being pregnant in a year and a half. And I had lost the four before that. And, and not only me, but like, I mean, I can't tell you the number of women friends I have that just have horror stories. Yeah. Like talk to anybody over 30, I don't know, and they have some kind of insane story of pregnancy loss or fertility struggles or whatever it is.
I think that I've been pregnant one time. Like I've been pregnant one time. I've had a horrible time conceiving.
Trying. Yeah.
I'm too old now. But
But you're the stepmom of all stepmoms. We all know.
thank you. I try. Um, but it was a really hard thing to deal with. And then the one time I did miscarry, like I didn't even know I was pregnant until I miscarried. And I think that that was sort of my one shot. And I had a lot of medical things going on, but I've always wanted to be a mom. And it was sort of always going to be part of my journey. And it
Mm.
just ended up not.
Well,
um,
and I think, I mean, not at all to take away from the loss and the pain of that, but you became a mom in a different way, and I think that that is
Yes.
how it ends up so often,
yeah.
is becoming a mom in a way that maybe you don't expect or it goes differently
Mhm.
than you think it's going to go.
Mhm.
Um, so, I think that that is a really interesting story to tell with Adelaide. Like especially girls of our generation, like I've talked so much to my friends about how we were so encouraged to focus on career and career's the goal and
Mhm.
like kids and family can wait, husbands and that can all wait.
And the
And then
longer you
everybody,
wait, the
yeah.
harder it is.
So for Adelaide, she's a career woman, like totally, she's totally been
Mhm.
focused on her career. And so I think it would be cool to explore that and, her journey with Hayden and what that's going to look like. And it's still going to be a really fun countdown to Christmas Eve again. Like a
Right,
baby is going to be born on Christmas Eve in this movie, maybe even two babies. I don't know.
right.
But
And we still have to have the village festival. Like there's always,
we need more Alpanoa locals. I
yes,
love the
Sure.
locals.
yes.
And then Lance and Diego, we need to see where their love story goes.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's right. Of course. I mean,
Has
callbacks to
Blanche
the
found a
Build a Prince
beau?
for sure.
That's a good question, Jenny. I'm not ready to reveal that.
Okay.
Um, and Eve also is a single lady.
Mhm.
And Eve is like very enamored by the royal life. So I think we need to put somebody royal in Eve's path.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
yes,
but there's just a
absolutely.
lot of fun. Like the world is created, the characters are created. So now it's just time to tell a new story. And I think that's going to be so fun. And, the goal is to release November 2026. So I know that's a while to wait, but hopefully it
Well,
all
last
comes to
time it
be.
was September to October, and we were in the studio banging it out. So,
The script already existed, but Jenny,
That's true.
she's not. But you will take your time, and you will make this story happen.
Oh no,
And
I'm an animal. I'm a beast.
no, I know. It's
If
really
I
no other
decide to
way.
get it done, I'm gonna get it done.
well, we're
Yeah,
gonna
no,
get crazy text messages in the middle of the night.
I know.
yeah. Well, that I'm
We've
used
got a
to.
producers thread going and I will text them at 5 a.m. about, Facebook ad analytics like a psycho.
No, you guys.
I
I mean,
like
I have
it.
to
I
just.
nerd out with the Facebook.
Good, thank you.
the two Jennies, we're driving in our car and it comes up on our CarPlay. Bing, 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 bing.
Does it read it
And
out loud to you in a really intense
no,
voice?
I have to say, if I want to push on it, and Lizzie will go like, "What is that?" And I'll say, "It's just the two Jennies. They're hashing something
The
out."
Jennies. Yep. Dream
Jennies
team.
are really, the dream team is really going at it. No, but I think what you were just saying a minute ago, really, in all seriousness, is that there are so many fun things, callbacks to the first Build-A-Prints and everything else. But the whole idea about a royal Christmas story, where I think people will imagine, oh, everything's going to be perfect, right? They're going to have a perfect baby and everything's going to be like that. But the whole notion of alternate families and alternative outcomes for when people are trying to have children, I think is so great. And yes, a baby is going to be born in this story, I'm sure, but we don't know what other ways that it might be alternative. We just don't know yet.
We don't know. And
But
we
I think
and we need a love
it's
story too. I think every Christmas movie needs a love story. So somebody's gonna have a love story. Hayden and Addie are solid. That's a spoiler, and they're solid. They're gonna
yeah, that's not happening. We're not
yeah.
doing this is not Build a Divorce.
I hate
So,
those. I hate those sequels. Like, not to like
oh,
trash talk any, but I hate it when like the sequel is like something comes between them that's like stupid. Like that wouldn't come
Right.
between them.
Why
We're
can't
like,
they
no.
yeah,
work together like through life and have other issues, like them
exactly.
against the issue?
Right.
Yeah, we saw them come together in the first one. Like something dumb isn't going to tear them apart at this
Yeah.
point. Could have been build a wedding and they like fight over wedding plans, like barf, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. We're not doing that.
Actually, build a wedding is kind of a good idea. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can't
stay
think of
tuned.
anything
We're
else
gonna
other than
we'll keep you posted as we go if you want to follow along the journey. We're gonna film the entire record this time. Like we have just some cell phone footage from last time, but
yeah.
we're gonna fully record it. And yeah, listen to it year after year because I listened to it. I just listened to it yesterday for the first time in a while, and I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
listened to part one this morning and was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is so fun.
Yeah, you kind of
Yeah.
forget, and then it's
Same.
like you just enjoy it again. It's like you watch Christmas movies every year. It's the same kind of thing.
Mhm.
It just hits the spot in a certain kind of way.
It does. It hit the spot. And let us know whether or not you'd like to see more of these conversations about what's going on behind the scenes. We'll get better at it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we'll
hopefully
keep
it'll
going
be,
with the producer chats if you guys want
yeah,
to
the
follow
producer
along.
chats. Yeah.
Please like and share.
Hit subscribe.
Click that
Subscribe.
bell.
All right, guys, thanks for listening.
All
Merry
right.
Christmas, and
Okay.
we
Merry
hope to
Christmas.
chat with
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.